One mini world, one creation dream.
Correct? Don't worry, if you don't play in PC, you also will be able to do this map, okay? So we're gonna continue, guys. Remember, we're gonna start creating the first one that is gonna be the Demolish item, okay? So as the last class, remember to create a tool. Remember, I teach you how to create these tools on the last class. We're gonna create a new tool. The price for this is gonna be 0, so you're not gonna spend any money in game. The description, you can put it destroy current building, tree, or mineral, okay? Remember to translate here, as you did before on the previous classes, to all the different languages, and the attributes and the skills are gonna be the same. Also remember, every time you create a new tool, you need to access the game again to be able to see it, okay? So as soon as you finish and create this specific tool, you're gonna re-access your map, okay? Now that you do that, now that you re-access your map, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna go once more to the trigger section. In the trigger section, I already ordered different, but we're gonna start creating our first or our tool again. The name is gonna be Demolish, so remember to create a new trigger that is gonna be called Demolish. Then you're gonna go to variable library, and on there we're gonna create something specific, okay? We're gonna create a variable. The name of the variable that you're gonna create is building, okay? You can create it from here, or also we're gonna create it from here, so it's gonna be easier, okay? So what is gonna be the actions? The first one is player. When a player taps on a block, that is gonna activate the first action, that is when a player clicks on a block. That's it. That's simple, okay? Remember, now we're gonna go here, we're gonna go to player, and we're gonna check what kind of item the player has in the hand. So we're gonna look for that one. Is around this area. Okay, is this one. Determine handed item type. On there, you're gonna just expand and be sure that is the player in trigger event. Yes, in the middle, and on here you're gonna select the new tool that you just created, okay? That in my case is this one, is Demolish. And that's it, we have the two options, okay? Now, here is where it comes the tricky part, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna avoid have a lot of different conditions. We're gonna tell the game with just one condition. If the block that the player is destroying is a building or not, okay? And so how we gonna do that? We're gonna use something that is being called Boolean comparison. You can find it here, okay? In tool, Boolean value comparison, okay? You're gonna add that one. And what is a Boolean, guys? Remember, every time that you're gonna work or you're gonna play something that you can program, that you can use triggers or whatever to program, a Boolean is a variable that only is gonna have two options, to put it true or false. True means it's true, of course, that is something that exists. False means that is something that doesn't exist, okay? So we're gonna check if the condition here is real, is true. So please, on the middle, you're gonna select and put yes. As again, you're gonna put true. And then here, we're gonna use a specific function, okay? And the function is gonna be Boolean group. And we're gonna check a specific value here. If I'm not wrong, is this one that says Boolean value with a specific number in the... Okay, but not sure. Let me do a double check on here, because right now with the new translation, sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but no, it's this one, okay? So the one we're gonna use is not that one, it's right here in general, and it's this one that says determine if a specific ID exists in a group, okay? Sorry, if the determined value exists in a group, is this one, sorry. So you're gonna add it, okay? And when you add it, you're gonna have two different options, okay? On here, we're gonna put what variable is gonna exist, what is the variable we're gonna look in the group. Remember, a group is a group of variables, it's like a market list where you can have like different things you're gonna buy. It's the same thing. So we're gonna put in the first one Okay, on the first one here, let me do it from 0 here. Probably it's gonna give you an error like here if you don't select the kind of group. Okay, so first we need to select the group. You're gonna go to function library, and on there you're gonna select block, and then you're gonna select block type group. Okay, so on block type group you are not gonna have anything, so you're gonna create new variable, and you're gonna create this variable name building. Okay, and when you do that, you're just gonna see that this is automatically update. You're gonna open up here, and on here you're gonna click, and you need to tell the game what kind of a block we are looking for, and we're gonna set the block in the event. So that means the block that we are clicking on is on the list. Okay, as you see, we have the same condition here. I'll just recreate everything from 0 because I know sometimes it's confusing. Okay, so once you do that, once you select buildings, we need, or what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to variable library, and you're gonna look where it says block type group. Remember, it's in globals, and you're gonna click on there. Okay, on here, this will allow you to put a list of all the different blocks that you're gonna consider a building here. Okay, so to add one, just simply click here, and it's gonna add you something like this, value number X, whatever number is getting here, and it's gonna allow you to click here to select what is considered a building or not. Okay, so here the next work is that you're gonna put all the different blocks that you consider a building and the player can destroy with Demolish. Okay, in my case I also put the trees and some murals here. Okay, as an example, we can add the police station, and you're gonna see this at the end. Also we can add, I don't know, the houses. You're gonna add it here, and you're gonna see this time it's gonna like grow up every time. Okay, I already have those up here, as you see, so I'm gonna delete it from here, but remember you need to add all your different buildings. Okay, and once you do that, we can continue with the actions. Okay, so for the actions you can copy like we do most of the times for all the different tools. Okay, so you can go to irrigate, copy and paste all the actions except the last ones. Remember, irrigate, we learned how to create this trigger yesterday. So if you have questions about this, just copy and paste and check the previous class. Okay, so you're gonna add the normal actions. Remember, set money as money and reduce 5, or whatever amount you're gonna put. I put it completely free. I don't want the players to spend money. So what I did is just only deactivate this. Remember, once more, you have the sound effects on player, the one that you're gonna select. Of course, for this I put a specific sound. It is the one you're hearing right now. Also I select an explosion, so it's gonna look like it's destroying things. And once more, on here, instead of putting the price, as we don't have the price, I just put the next content that is simply put it boom. Okay, like it's gonna put something like boom, and that's it. Okay, and finally you're gonna destroy the last action, and you're gonna add an action. The action is gonna be right here. You're gonna go here, you're gonna go to blocks, and in blocks you're gonna put destroy block. Okay, that's simple. You have two different destroy blocks here. You have one that says block on location, and one that says, well, I think it's the same one. Yeah, I think this is a little bit buggy. It's for the new version, but you're gonna destroy the block in the vent position. Okay, nice. Now that we have here this, we already have our demolish item, so you can test. So we still on buildings too. We already learned how to do a demolish item that you can use to destroy the buildings and earn money back from them. Okay, now moving back to mini word, we gonna learn the next part, and what we gonna learn is the next trigger. And we already learned how to create demolish. Now we're gonna learn how to create house operating. Okay, so right now remember that you can upgrade your house. So something that I'm gonna teach you first. Okay, remember the buildings that we create, or what I show you really quick here. I want to show you some rules that you can have for creating your buildings. Okay, all right, so this is my example home, and as you see, the home, and remember, everything that you can build needs to be inside this block. But check this, the house is really nice, right? But it's really small. When you upgrade, you can upgrade to a different model. So you can have like 5 or 10 different models for the houses. But when you're gonna start having real buildings like this, you need to follow some rules, okay? First, the back of the building, the bottom of the building. Oh, I see an error here. Didn't open well. Too late to correct that error. Okay, but the bottom of the building needs to fit to the top of the building. Why, guys? Because every time that we add a floor, it needs to look like the same building, okay? So this is the model of my building. As you see, this block right here fits with the blocks right over here, okay? And in real game, the building's gonna look something like this, okay? As you see, the bottom of the building is gonna be very similar to the top. So it's gonna look like it's another floor, and it's not gonna look weird. Here you have another example. Every one of these different blocks is a floor for the building, okay? And as you see, the top matches the last block, okay? And that's what you have to do here for different buildings. Otherwise, it's gonna look weird. Also, what I recommended to do is on the last block, the block on the top, reduce 2 blocks from the top. In there, you can build something like this. So it's gonna look like your building is a little bit deep. So if you go here, you're gonna see something like this, that your building on the top has even some small stairs here. You can see it on here, and it's gonna look amazing, okay? But remember, the most important part is the top matches the last one, the bottom one, like here. The bottom one is the same color and everything than the top one, alright? So that is the first thing, okay? Cabo of Neji saying hola. Hola Cabo, bienvenido al streaming. And we're gonna continue with our map, of course, okay? So, as always, as we're gonna do an upgrade, you are not gonna create another tool. You're just gonna use the same tool. In my case, we're gonna upgrade the house. Remember yesterday I teach you how to do these tools. And remember, you need to be very careful with the description. If you wanna have more than one update, explain here what is gonna give you the update, okay? So max population is gonna have +1. And if you add a floor, it's gonna have +1 of max population, okay? So we're gonna use the same item. And as base, we're gonna use like the different buildings that we already have, okay? So pliers taps in any block, and it's gonna be just like the same option of the house. So my best recommendation is, once you create your house, you're gonna copy and paste, and you're gonna rename it, and you're gonna put the name as house upgrade, okay? That's how you're gonna create this first one. So the first condition is gonna be the same, the first action. Of course, the first condition, once more, is what item I have in the hand. On here, just keep the same because we're gonna use the same item, the house. You're gonna keep the same amount of money, but here is the most important part. In the house, we need to check if the block that we are clicking on is a cubo de hierba, or in English, a grass cube. I don't know why this is not translating, but well. So you probably have something like this. You can do or have those options, okay? The first one is you're gonna click and change that. Instead of the cubo of hierba, you're gonna place your house. Remember, this is the block house you have, and you're just gonna put the yes. The block that I have to click on is my house. And also, the top needs to be an air block, just like the same. But also, in case you need it, and you have like multiple different kind of houses that you can upgrade, you can also do this. You're gonna just put here, okay? You're just gonna add a new option. You're gonna put or. Remember the or new. Don't put this one. Put this one. The or new. And you're gonna have something like this. In the first one, you're gonna go to function library, And on function library, you're gonna select word, if I'm not wrong, and block type style comparison, okay? And in block type comparison, you're gonna put the block in the event, yes, and there you select the kind of block you wanna operate, okay? And then here, you can put the second kind of block that you can operate into a building. But if you have more options, if you have more blocks, you can put like I did. So you can go here also. You can put or, and you're gonna have something like this. As you see, the same condition, and you have to put block comparison and do the same, okay? You can repeat as much as you want. In my case, I have 3 different houses, models, that you can transform in a building, okay? So remember, if you have more than one house that you can turn in a building, use this. If you have only one house that is gonna be turned in a building, just use this one, okay? Nice. Now, for the actions, it's gonna be the same. As you copy already the house one, it's gonna have the same price. It's gonna have the same effect. It's gonna have the same sound and the same text. But remember, everything that we're gonna put here is different, okay? So in the house, in the normal trigger for the house, if we go after it, we used to create the block Adobe of the house, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna use the same information for the house upgrade, okay? So, but this one is gonna be a little bit different, okay? So let me explain. If you're only gonna change your house into a cooler house, but the house still have one floor, the new one, you're just gonna put replace block, okay? That means that you're gonna change the actual block for a new one. That's it, okay? So remember, to add that option, you're gonna go here, you just go to block and select substitute block, okay? And just simply you put event position and you select the new block here, okay? In my case, I have it here, all right? It's this one, right? Simple. And of course, choose different orientations so you have like buildings facing different directions, okay? Nice. Delete that part is okay, all right? But now, if you have something like me, that let me show you really quick here again. If you have something like me, let's wait until the terrain gets generated. Okay, wait, let's wait, and then we got it. If you see something like me, what you're gonna see is that when you click on it, you're probably gonna have something like this, right? With the actual one. So that means that you're only gonna replace the house for the one first building, okay? But if you do what I'm gonna do right now, you're gonna have 2 different blocks at the beginning. So that means 2-floor building, okay? So how do you do that? In house upgrade, above the replace one or below, you're gonna just keep the same option that you have in house, but you're gonna replace this, okay? So before you used to have the house, what you're gonna select here is the building, okay? And what it's gonna do is just the same, okay? It's gonna go ahead and replace the block in the floor, but also is gonna add one more dog. And in the chat, I am not Kenzie saying hello. Welcome, Kenzie. I know that you are not Kenzie, so welcome to the streaming. Okay, so let me show you up really quick here. We're gonna put some water here to show you the example. Right? So remember the last time when you put the house, if you click on it, it's only gonna replace the house. Well, now it's gonna add 1 floor more to the house. You see? And you can be able to keep over and over, okay? And that's it, okay? So you're gonna just add that event in case you want to replace it, and you're gonna have 2. The first one to create a block in the floor and the block in the top. And then here is gonna be very important, guys. Remember, your upgrade building is gonna have a different amount of population, okay? So in my case, the first time you upgrade, it is gonna add 3 of population. All right, remember the house only has 2. Let me show you. Okay, only adds 2. In this case, this is gonna add 3 of population. Give me a second, and it's here. All right. In my case, and that depends on me. And remember that you can be or do it differently. My house is only also give you money per day, but the upgrade house is not gonna give you more money. So I remove that, but you can also keep that every floor is gonna give you more money, okay? And now you're gonna wait 5 seconds and you can create another citizen, okay? As the house is bigger, you're gonna have more citizens. In my case, the house does the same, okay? So as you see, right now, we're gonna be able to upgrade the different buildings, okay? Now, we're gonna create the second one, and is that right now, with the triggers I teach you, you will be able to have your house, but you won't be able to add more floors, just changing the house from one to other, okay? So how do you gonna add more floors to your house? It's really simple. We're gonna copy this, okay? And we're gonna paste it on the same folder. You're gonna rename it and you're gonna put it house or building plus 1 floor, however you want it, okay? As an example, I can put house here. So I know what item is gonna be. And we're gonna have something like this, okay? As you see, we're gonna keep the same event. We're gonna keep the same first conditions, okay? But as you see, well, it's gonna be the same conditions. Once more, I only select like what kind of floor we have to click on. And remember, as we're gonna add a floor, we're gonna select the block that looks like a floor, the building one that you already create for the previous one, okay? So that means on the other one, you need to click in the house. On this one, you're gonna click on the same block that we are gonna place, okay? You're gonna keep also the same first options as they are, all right? But there, you're gonna remove that. Remember that on here on the upgrade, we put something like replace the block. We're gonna remove that, okay? So we're gonna remove the replace and we're only gonna create a block in the top, okay? But on here, you're gonna select block type in the event, okay? So it's gonna duplicate the block that you already have. Now, in my case, every floor is gonna change, okay? So for the normal house, we have 2 of foot. For the 2 size or 2 blocks house, we're gonna have 3. But every different floor is gonna add 1 of population max, no more, okay? So the floors are gonna have less population than the full amount, okay? And you're gonna keep all the things as they already are, okay? So as you see, really simple here. It's just we're gonna change some actions. And right now, if everything is working fine, you will be able to upgrade everything. So welcome, Kara Boy. Welcome to the streaming. Okay, so right now, with what I teach you, you will be able to do a couple of cool things, okay? So you will be able to manually test and put your house here, okay? Give me a second, it's loading. All right. So that terrain is loading, so you will be able to place your house. You will be able to upgrade your house. And you will be able to add more floors to your house, and you're gonna start having population in the floor, okay? This also is the same trigger you can use for creating your office, okay? Or to create any building that you want to have with more than 1 block, okay? As an example, this one. As you see, oh, this is not, sorry. This is the police station. This one is an office. Now it's a building. And now you can start like putting more floors to your office building, okay? We're gonna create an UI, okay? So remember, for creating an UI, you need to click on here, and on there you're gonna click on new, okay? So you have gonna have something like this. You're gonna put the name of the UI you're gonna place. In my case, is City Simulator UI, and then you're gonna access to your City Simulator. In my case, you're gonna see that these are already created. Don't worry, I'm gonna give you some tips first, okay? So you're gonna see that my UI is really simple and really easy to understand, and it looks like a balanced UI, okay? So how do you do that? First tip I'm gonna give you is always before starting, you need to think about how the elements are gonna look, okay? So the first thing I always do is thinking about the background, okay? So the background is the color that most of your things are gonna have as background, of course, but it's the main color you're gonna use in your UI. So everything is gonna have an unity and is gonna look very balanced and really easy to catch, okay? Because if you start placing things like that, as an example, it's just an example. I don't know, I place like things here from different color, and then I add, I don't know, let's put another thing here from green, and as you see, it's gonna look messed up. I only put 2 different elements here with different colors, and you're gonna see that if you put too much colors on it in big spaces, it's gonna look messed up, okay? So remember, it was really ordered, but just with 3 different colors here in a big amount, it's gonna look really awful, right? So first thing you need to do is always, you're gonna do this. You're gonna do something like this, okay? This is the easiest way. You're gonna place a white one. You can find all the white different things here, all right? And you're gonna think about the color that you're gonna use for your background, okay? So once you add that element, just scroll down and look for pattern color, and on there, choose the color of your background, okay? In my case, it's something like this, okay? Nice. That is before creating your all UI, okay? Then you're gonna put the same thing together, and you're gonna do a smaller and smaller block like this, and then you're gonna put this as a different color, okay? So you're gonna put this over the other block you have here, and you're gonna put the size like this, okay? You're gonna see it's not the half, it's a little bit less than a quarter of it, okay? And what you're gonna do here is that you're gonna change the color, and you're gonna select a second color that looks great over it, and this is really like highlighted over it, okay? Then you're gonna copy and paste, and you're gonna select a third color, okay? Remember, now we are just creating the colors. It's gonna make your maps look really professional. And start playing and check with the background what color looks better, okay? And then you're gonna reduce it a little bit, okay? Alright, so now you have 3 different colors here that look cool together. The first one, the one you have the most background in, is gonna be the background of all your UI, okay? The second one, the one that is about a quarter of the block or the old background, is gonna be the color you're gonna use for complement, okay, as a complement. And the third one is the one that you're gonna show important things, okay? So as you see, I did the same. So when I'm gonna start creating my UI, I'm gonna save here in attribute, and I'm gonna copy this code, okay? So this is gonna be the color. Let me put this like this. Background. And take note, of course, this is the color for my background. Now this is the color for complement, okay? And you're gonna select now, oh, what happened here? Why mini word reduce? Okay, so you're gonna click on here, and you're gonna go to pattern color, and you're gonna copy and paste here the color of your complement. And finally, the smallest one, the one you use to highlight the things, you're gonna copy and paste it here as a highlight, okay? And you're gonna do something like this, okay? So once you do that, you're gonna know what colors you're gonna create your UI, okay? So everything that is the background of your UI is gonna be, of course, with the background color we just created here, okay? Everything that is gonna be text, so information is gonna be with the white one, as you see, something that you really want to hide up. And finally, everything that is gonna be really important is gonna be with the yellow one, the color you notice. As you see, all the buttons here that are really important are gonna have the yellow color, so the players will know that that is important. You want to add, if in case you want to add another color, you can do it, but it's really important, don't use more than 4 colors, okay? Next tip I'm gonna give you is, every time that you're gonna create a button or something, be sure that you use a white one, okay? Let me show you the example here. I'm gonna add this element here, and I'm gonna add a different button. As an example, we going to choose this one that is blue, okay? So why choosing a white one, anything that is white instead of anything that has already a color in the possible way? And remember, this is for the boxes and the buttons, because on here I'm gonna be able to change the color to any color, okay? Even if I put this, you're gonna see I have the same blue, the same green, and everything is gonna be the same. Let me show you the example with red. But if you choose a one that already has a color, if you choose a red, it's not gonna look as a red. If you choose a green, it's not gonna look as the same green, and it's gonna be harder for choose the colors. Sometimes you won't be able to do it. For an example, this is supposed to be red, but doesn't matter what I do, I'm not gonna be able to get this red, okay? So for everything as possible for you, always try to select the version of the thing that you are trying to place with Y. As an example, here in icons, those that are white are gonna be really easy to change for. Those that are black also are gonna be kind of easy, but are gonna be a really bit harder. But something like this that has blue, oh, didn't know that they add these ones. I'm gonna use these ones for the future. But yeah, something that has already color is gonna be harder to change. So as an example, if you have two options like this one, unless you're using blue on your UI, try to use the white one. Let me show you again another example here, okay? Really quick, I'm gonna show you this. In icon once more, I'm gonna go down here, and we're gonna have the two versions, okay? So imagine you want to do a red frame, okay? As this is almost white, I can do this, and really easily I'm gonna have a red color here, right? Let's put it like this. But now, what will happen if I do the same with this one? You see, it's gonna look really awful. Even if I place a green, it's gonna work better. But if I have a primary color like this, as an example, I'm gonna select yellow here, and then I'm gonna select a yellow here too, you're gonna see the real difference, right? So always try to keep using white background elements as default, okay? So really quick here, I already showed you the face, so we're gonna create all the elements that you're gonna see on the screen, okay? So in the top, you're gonna see that I grouped things in different things, okay? Let me hide some elements. So first thing we're gonna learn is how to create this, is the base for the game, okay? And as you see, the first thing that we're gonna create is you're gonna hit here, and you're gonna create a button, okay? The button is gonna be named like this. It's gonna have the setup. It's gonna change the pattern. You're gonna change the pattern, okay? Sorry, I misclicked it here. Okay, so what I did is, let me explain the elements. First, we're gonna have the background here. So that's what you're gonna create. You're gonna create a picture, all right? And the picture is gonna be renamed as info panel, okay? So what we're gonna put here? We're gonna put here just a background. It's the circle you can see here. And we're gonna change the pattern for whatever you want, okay? It can be any form, but the important thing is that first the people think this is not a block, okay? So the block, as you see here, is different, or the image is different for a button, because buttons most of the time are gonna have a border, okay? Like this. you're gonna see it's like something 3D that you can click on, and this one is completely plain. Okay, so the model I'm using right now, if I'm not wrong, is right here. You can click on here on base template, and you're gonna find a lot of those that looks like they are not buttons. Okay, so that's the best way to do it. As I'm using a blue screen, I'm choosing this one. You can choose whatever color or thing you do. Okay, set the size, set the, remember this is where it's gonna be, so it's gonna be at x12. X is the direction or the position here, and y12 is the position here. Okay, now then you have the dimensions. Once more, this is the size. On my case, it's gonna be 130 and 138. Remember, if you click on here, it's gonna expand to the sides, and here is gonna expand up and down. Okay, in my case, I just gonna keep it in 138. Okay, and then you have more options here. You're gonna keep it as a proportional zoom. Here you can choose the color. In my case, I'm gonna keep it like the way it is because it's the color I'm using. Here also you have the option to give or reduce the transparency. So if you put something like 50, it's gonna be transparent, and when you are in game, it's gonna show what is in the background. In my case, I'm using 100. In case you have an item that is like turn it up, you can click on here, and it's gonna move everything like turning to the sides. Okay. Now this is important. If you have an element that only is gonna be displayed on cell phone, you can choose here. If you want to be only displayed on PC, click on here, and if you want to be displayed in both, use this. Okay, this always should be on, and in associate setup you're gonna click, and you can choose where this UI is gonna be associated. Okay, so remember, we're gonna have different size of screens for cell phones and everything, and the position of this may be different if you look in your cell phone or in a computer or even in the cell phone, but a different cell phone. So the way you're gonna assure that the UI is gonna be okay and it's not gonna be like too big or too small for your cell phone is first setting up with this. Okay, so if you click here, it's gonna be attached to the top, so that means that even if the screen is bigger here, it's always gonna be at the top. If you click here, it's gonna be also attached to the side. Okay, and if you click here and here, it's gonna keep the same distance into this border, and the top, and also it's gonna be attached here. But if you put it the 4 ways, it's always gonna be keeping the same aspect in between the screen. Okay, in my case, I only need those two activated, and that's it. Okay, right now there is a different way. Okay, so you are going to have only this thing. Remember, if you click on it and you hit that, the item that you're gonna create is gonna be created inside. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna create a new one, and you're gonna put a button on it. Okay, and you're gonna rename it as an avatar. Okay, keep all the information of this as you want. The avatar, you can choose whatever avatar is gonna show the character that the player is having. Okay, but be sure that you scroll down all the way down, and you're gonna put those 4 together. So what it's gonna do is that it doesn't matter where do you put this, it's always gonna be at the middle, and it's gonna be very similar to the size that the item has. Okay, now you're gonna keep clicking on avatar, and then you're gonna add a new base. Okay, so you're gonna select picture. Okay, and you're gonna rename the new object as a level background. Okay, and you can use the same circle that you use for the other. I already have the same pattern, but the important thing is it's smaller, and we're just gonna use it as a background. Okay, now once more on here, it's important to associate this. You're gonna associate with the top down corner. Okay, so it's always gonna be at the top down. So select these 2 different scenarios for this one. Okay, and now that you're holding, click on here and be sure it's selected. You're gonna add a new text. Okay, the text you're gonna add is gonna be renamed as level. Okay, here you put the name of the text, and here is gonna tell you what to do. So always you dealing with text, don't do something like this. Be sure that you put the max amount of that number that you can have in game. In my case, the maximum level is 90, 90, 91. So you see I'm placing zeros to try to simulate the amount of distance it's gonna handle, okay? And there, once more, go ahead and associate to your specific item, okay? Now, you're gonna click again on the circle, okay? And you're gonna add a new text again, okay? And the name of this new text is gonna be level tag, okay? You're gonna do it smaller, you're gonna change it to level, and this text is not gonna change, it's just a tag. So here you can change in font the size of the text, okay? In my case, I put it on 12. I also can do something like this to make it look cooler, all right? And that's it, okay? Now, if you do everything right, you're gonna have the info panel above, and you're gonna have the avatar, and inside the avatar, you're gonna have those two. In case you don't have it like I have, the way you reorder is just click in the item you want to reorder, and you're gonna click on reorder, okay? So when you click on reorder, you have different options. First one, you click the option, the folder you wanna put in, and first one is gonna put it in the same size but at the end, okay? So it's gonna put it just below, okay? Now, second one is gonna put it on the top, okay? So as you see, it's gonna put it on the top. It's like how it works. And this one is gonna put it inside, okay? Like this. As you see, now it's inside this, okay? So be sure with those two techniques, you put everything like in the same order that I have it, okay? So I'm gonna reorder and I'm gonna go to level background. This small circle here. I'm gonna put it become a part of it, okay? Nice. Now we're gonna design the icon bar. For this, you're gonna add a new picture, okay? And we're gonna rename it as icon bar, okay? All right, you can have a lot of different patterns. What you're gonna do is just to add a basic one. Remember, try to use yellow always. So in base or in backgrounds, you have a lot of white ones, okay? So what you're gonna do is select any one that is white one. As an example, this one, okay? And what you're gonna do is reduce, like here, the size, okay? So here, if I put it like it is, most of the times it's gonna be a full square. What I did was reduce the height, so it's gonna look like a bar, okay? And I put 8 on it, right? And the width is 3, 4, 3, 2, okay? Now, in the icon bar, when you have clicked on it, you're gonna add another picture, okay? In the icon bar, you're gonna put the new one, that is a picture, and then you're gonna put it as icon bar refill, okay? On here, be sure you put 1 and 1, that means that it's gonna be one above and one smaller than the other, alright? So now, remember the other one was something like this? Well, you're gonna reduce 1 and 1 to each side, and the height needs to be a little bit smaller, okay? So the previous one was 8, right? We're gonna place it like smaller, okay? And try to be very visual here. Try, as this is gonna be above the other, it's gonna look like a border, okay? So it's gonna look like a small border here. And that's what we want to look like, okay? Because this is gonna change, this is a bar. Then the color of the background needs to be different to the fill. Remember, use the trick I show you. All the important things, use the color you choose for like green. Of course, you can change this, but on here, you're gonna associate to the top, to the back, and to the side, okay? Also, forgot to do that on here. Remember this, and every element you're gonna select is gonna have an association. Okay, so always it's gonna keep the same distance to the part that you tell the game. And once you have selected that, you're gonna move back and select the background. You can select here also. And you're gonna add a small button that we're gonna learn how it's working better, okay? On here, select whatever button you want, and you're gonna rename it as receive next icon, okay? So what it's gonna do, we're gonna do it later for getting money for it, okay? All right. and you're gonna have the bar here. All right, you can position this later, you can put it in any place, but remember this is gonna show us how it's working the map and when we're gonna receive the money. Okay, now guys, really important, once more we're gonna go here, we're gonna select info panel, be sure that you select that one always, and we're gonna add our first like panel. Okay, so you're gonna click on here, you're gonna select picture, and you're gonna edit and rename it as a money. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna select full background thing, always try to keep it in white. Remember, you can do it differently than the way they have, but the important thing is that you have on here a white or something. Okay, so once you select the pattern, be sure it's the same color and it's matching. Okay, on here, always once more, you're gonna change the information, you're gonna be sure you have enough space, that you use the background once more for all of those, and the association setup, you can just keep wipe this, also don't worry for that one. Okay, now that you have that selected, you have something like this, but you don't have anything on it, so you're gonna click on it, you're gonna select a picture, and you're gonna create a new element, name it frame. Okay, frame is gonna handle the icon, it's gonna be a small background. You can use the circle I use in here, you can use whatever important thing. The only important thing is that it's gonna look like a frame or something. Also, you don't need the frame, but just in case you are following the tutorial, you can do the same thing here. Now you're gonna scroll down, okay, and once more change the position and the dimension so it's gonna match, and once more, instead of association, choose where it's gonna be connected. Okay, so it's always gonna be at this side, and it's gonna have the same distance from the top and the back. Now once you have that, you're gonna click on here again, sorry I misclicked it. All right, and you're gonna have something looking like this. Okay, the money and the frame inside. Okay, so on the frame you are gonna add another image, and this is gonna be the icon. Okay, it's gonna be inside the frame, and you're gonna have something like this. Okay, so you're gonna put the icon. In my case, I select a coin as an icon because it's money, but something related, you can use the same I have here, but you can just choose whatever icon. Okay, so remember to look for icons here. You're gonna have all the items here under the blocks, and also you have some creatures here, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so you can choose whatever of those. Okay, the most important thing here is that you're gonna go down, and this is really important, and you're gonna keep the position for the 4 sizes. Okay, so always is gonna be in the middle. All right, and that's it for the icon. Now you're gonna go down and select money again, and we gonna add 2 different things. So we're gonna add first a text which is gonna be updated later. Okay, and what we're gonna do on here is you're gonna change it, and you're gonna put the name amount of money. On here, remember we select an icon, and remember if you want to look for more icons that you can use for your game. Let me do this really quick. Remember, put the max amount of zeros that you can have, so you're gonna know for sure that your UI is not gonna be bigger. And try to put the icon of the money also. Okay, now scroll down and select the highlighted color that we select before, that is the white. And instead of association, remember to put top, size, and to the side, so always is gonna be in the same position. Okay, cool, we're almost finishing here. What you're gonna do now is that you're gonna move again to money. Okay, and we are gonna add a button. Okay, so we're gonna use button, and the button information you can put it next to it. You can use the same button I have here or whatever. We're gonna use that later for get money if the player click here. Okay, now it's working fine, it's looking nice. Okay, so right now you should have something like this, right? Your UI is gonna look something like this right now. Okay, What you're gonna do right now is you're gonna click on here in money and you're gonna copy and paste it, okay? Or also you can click, and we have a very important tool here, guys, that is very useful. You're gonna click on save as a template. On here you're gonna say, I don't know, like info panel. You don't have too much information, but on pan1 as an example and save it, okay? Nice. So once you do that, you're gonna have a new option here that is really useful. And you can click here, you can select official template or custom template. And you're gonna see here that I have my panel here, so I can put this in whatever map I want, okay? And it's gonna be really created. It's gonna have all the information inside. So now it's time to change it, okay? So how do you do that? You're gonna move it, you're gonna put it next or down, and you need to start changing the information. Of course, you're gonna rename it as an example for the next one that is gonna be the food, okay? And you need to start changing the information inside, okay? I gonna delete it because I already have all the others here. Just remember, once you do that, you need to put it under the info panel. So you're gonna put become a part and it's gonna be inside, okay? Just in case we do something like this, we will be able to hide this and move everything on, okay? Of course, I already have it created here. So what you're gonna do is whenever you create something new, as an example, I have the one we want right here. You're gonna change the icon, you're gonna change the text, okay? But also you're gonna change the name for the base, so it's gonna be food in this case. You're gonna open up and you're gonna change where it says amount of money and you're gonna say amount of food. All right, and you're gonna change the name of the button for add food, okay? And also change the name of the icon to icon. Then what is gonna do? Why? Because we're gonna use it on triggers and it's gonna be really useful. So you're gonna repeat the process for population, you're gonna repeat the process for display and for stress, okay? And if you want to add monetization, you can add crystals too, okay? So at the end, you're gonna have something like this. Check the information I have, check I have the symbol I'm gonna use for every one of those, and the amount of zeros I'm gonna use. As an example, 1999 is gonna be the max amount of population I have, so I'm gonna put 3 zeros, dash 3 zeros. In stress, I only can have 1999 of stress, so put the 3 zeros here. And on food, of course, I need less space, okay?